So, art. When you hear this word, you probably think about pieces created long, long time ago by masters of sorts, either classic art like Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo and their famous pieces, or maybe music like Frédéric Chopin or other famous people in world of music and theater and so on and so on. Now, I can only be guessing, but when you hear the words art, artwork, uh, work of art, piece of art, and so on, you probably don't think about the fontaine or the Chinese nightingale. You see, these two pieces are considered now a form of art. Yes, art. Real art in art museum and so on. Uh, well, if you told people who created these hideous pieces that you consider this art, they would feel offended, even very offended, because these pieces were created by people living somewhere around 1910, 1920 in a post-war world. And they were made in an art movement which we call today Dadaism, Dada for short. And you see, people back then didn't like the term artist, art. It was an insult to them. They thought that creating this wasn't art, it was meant to be anti-art. It was to show, look at this is not art, this is not how to make art. Yet, nowadays, we consider this art. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it's up to you. Now, well, you can wonder why they thought it was a good idea to create such ugly, let's be honest, ugly pictures or collages or sculptures or other forms of art. You see, the senselessness of Dada art reflected the senselessness of the world circa World War I, in which conventional logic led to the senselessness of a world war. Dada was born shortly after the First World War ended. Everything was skewed. Economy was messed up, and so was social life, politics, and all of that stuff. Everything was in pure chaos. People looked at everything that surrounded them and thought that, you know what? No. Let's make something out of it. Yeah, let's create something. Let's show other people that we see that we live in a screwed life, that we are living in a very bad place, in a very bad times. Let's show that through making hideous pieces. Let's be honest with them. Let's show them. Let's make them think about life. Let's make them think in what time we are living, and that it's not a good time. Yeah, well, we also, as a generation, as millennials, we resemble other people. Though we are not creating fontaine-like pieces, we have a bit other things which we can proudly show. I'm talking about memes. Memes like this, which is a sophisticated comment on a political situation right now. It's a witty in a way, don't you think? But even though we have such nice pieces, we also have pieces like this. A 3D model of a green frog riding a unicycle with a text and a subtext with lots of exclamation marks. It doesn't really make sense. It's not pretty. Actually, it's pure pure irrationality. It doesn't make sense, yet it went viral on the internet. It was so popular. People were retweeting, reblogging it, sharing it, saving into their phones and showing their family members and friends. They thought it was funny, that it was relatable, or what's worse, both. Well, but it doesn't stop here. We also create pieces like this, which depict our dark sense of humor as a generation. And we also have memes like these too, which show that we as millennials have rather low self-esteem, or that it could be a little bit higher. Either way, it's a variety of memes. Some of them make sense, some of them don't. And now I know it's a lot to comprehend, that it's a lot to take at once. And now you can be wondering why we are making memes. Why? What's with them that they keep going, that people keep creating them, that they are still up in the internet? If they weren't something worth our time, they were just disappear in dark deeps of internet. And yet they are not disappearing, they are still keep going, they are going viral, and we are producing even more memes. Why? What's the source of that? Well, absurdism makes the real life absurdity feel a little more bearable. We like absurd-like sense of humor. We like irrational jokes and so on, because we see our lives as miserable, because we see the world around us isn't as pretty as we would like it to be. So we are trying to make it pretty by skewing it a little, by closing one eye, by making jokes of heavy topics, just so to have fun, to don't feel depressed all the time. And well, you can now wonder why I was talking about Dada artists, then I was talking about memes, and that we have something similar. Well, it's a good question, because actually I'm not trying to say that we are neo-Dada people, that memes are a form of art, but I'm saying that we are resembling people living in a world damaged by war. And just as this woman in the picture, you can be thinking that I'm talking some weird stuff and that my talk doesn't really make sense. Yet, there is some sense in it. Trust me. We were promised to be whoever we wanted to be, and we were given high unemployment rates and no guarantee of a job after college. We were promised peace and prosperity, and we were handed terrorism and a severe economic recession. You see, even though we are not living in a place damaged by war, we are still not in the best place to be. We are looked down by older generations like baby boomers or Generation X. By just being us, we are looked down for not buying a house, even though now it's not really a good time to buy one, and everyone knows it. We are constantly told what to do, how to do it, what we should achieve, how we should behave, what clothes we should wear, and yet we are told to just be yourself. What's stopping you from being yourself? And we are living in a very unpleasant situation, because whatever we do, we are told that either we are lazy, that we are unmotivated all the time, or that we are special snowflakes who receive trophies and prizes for doing nothing, for just being, even though we didn't ask for it. It was previous generation who gave these participation trophies to us. We didn't ask for it. Yet, older people are mad at us for getting them because we weren't getting those. Why are you? Well, ask yourself. Now, look at these two pictures. At the first glance, they might be different, but are they? Really? The first one is a collage made by a Dada artist somewhere around 1920, using rather traditional technique. The other one is a digital collage made by an internet user, depicting a character from 2016 movie. Well, you can look at them and try to compare them. And all I want you to see right now is that even though they might seem different, they're actually not. We are similar to people from history, from a long, long time ago, or maybe not even so long. And that history is repeating itself. And it's actually our job to try to avoid mistakes the people living back then actually did. Thank you very much.